Okay. First things first, we ended off the lecture last week with a few questions I had thrown back to the class. We are doing this course unit on research methods. We talked about why we are doing research methods. For the Nkosi students, please go back to the link and you'll see we have the lecture slides up online, but also the recorded Zoom recording should be able to help us understand what we missed out. And at any point, you can stop me. Anyone, stop me, raise your hand, unmute, and ask me a question. Don't hesitate. I have no problem with anyone interrupting with a question. So first things first, we talked about why we are doing research last week. Does anyone remember why we are doing research? From our discussions last week, why we are doing research? Why do we do research method? Yes, Mary?
We do research for academic purposes.
Yes, please. Thank you, Mary. We do research for academic purposes. Helen?
To disprove the hypothesis.
Yeah, to disprove the hypothesis or discover new knowledge. Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you, Helen. So there are quite a number of them, and I want to focus on Mary's, where she says for academic purposes. And I asked a question to the class, your IT or ICT students. We have individuals in the ICT profession who don't have degrees. Examples of such are Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, the late Steve Jobs. And all these guys, they don't have degrees and they have made it big. And there are others in the IT field that even if you went to the profession now, so they've picked up all these IT skills, programming, networks, and so on and so forth, but haven't bothered to get a degree. So what is so significant about a degree? And we point to research, the research skills that you pick up. What are the purposes of research skills? Research skills are not the same as the professional skills that you pick up in programming, in networking, in computer maintenance, and so on and so forth. They're not the same. Whereas the other ones make you practical, a practical solution seeker and solver in the field of IT. Research, on the other hand, yes, it's giving you skills. They are also skills, but they're skills to become a thinker. So you become an academic because of research. So it raises you a step higher. Research raises you a step higher than any other profession, than simply any other profession. It raises, you become a thinker, not just somebody practical, but somebody who can bring forward new knowledge. That's the part Helen brought about. You can disprove hypothesis, bring new knowledge. Okay? So you are going to encounter, for some of you, not some of you may already have done research. In your third year, you're going to do your research project. The Masaka group has an advantage. They've had a whole week to think about it, but this doesn't stop our colleagues from Nkosi, my friends from my students from Nkosi. We want to have a discussion online. If you go to the chat room, I've sent you a link, a Padlet link, where I've posted a question. I've posted something for us to have a discussion on. Can we do that before we begin our lecture? Can we begin posting and talking about it? If you just go to the chat area, I've posted that link. And in the meantime, I'm going to share the screen so that you can all see as we post our contributions. This is not textbook. We're not expecting textbook responses, but to have a real think and think about that journey we're going to make. We want this class to be as interactive as possible. So please, everyone, can you go there and let's have a discussion on that.
Excuse me,
Nakawesi says you're not seeing the link.
yes.
I'm reposting it. For those who are new to Padlet, how we could post our contribution is simply click on the plus sign, and you should be able to add your response. Okay, we have trustworthy porcupine. Who is that? Who has posted? Can I know who this is?
Namugera Charles.
Namugera Charles. People putting on watches just for fashion. I'm trying to understand the relevance to the discussion here. Charles. In terms of research, how is this related to the question I've posted? What are the most significant time management challenges you anticipate in undergraduate research journey? Let me see. Mary says analyzing collected data more so when complex collection methods have been used. Using friendly methods, that's a good one. Clever tilapia? Who's clever tilapia?
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
Kindly send the link again. Some of
Okay.
us have network issues. Thank you.
Okay. I've sent it. Esther says, my challenge has always been procrastination. Yes, Esther, that's a very good one. Very, very, very practical challenge. We all have that. Any others? Ronald says, juggling research responsibilities with regular coursework assignments. Create detailed schedule that allocates specific blocks of time. Yes, Ronald, thank you for that. And that's definitely trying to juggle between two responsibilities. It will definitely be a challenge for you. Just expect a lot of sleepless nights. Then also Esther also contributed again, procrastination and distraction. Yes, thank you so much, Esther.
Madam,
And
I've
research-
also posted mine.
Pardon?
I've also posted mine before Ronald.
Before Ronald. Helen, balancing time to do the research with other academic programs. Yes, thank you so much, Helen. Who is optimistic ladybug? It would be good to post with your name so that I know who made a contribution during class. Also, these things are marked.
Madam, excuse me.
Pardon?
An excuse, madam.
Oh, that's Jacqueline, eh?
Yes, madam. It is as if I sent my contribution, but I don't know whether or who named me clever, whatever, tilapia, I don't know.
Hey, I think the option gives you a section to where you can, let me give an example. If I click on the add post and then I write my response, let me see if I can move some things out of the way. See where I can post my name. I have section where I can post my name. I'm trying to see. Yeah, for me, it's because I think I've already logged in. And if I say edit, I think mine it already comes with my name. We see promises balancing research with coursework and other academic responsibilities and can be implemented by mastering a schedule. Okay. Thank you, Promise, for that. We have Charles. I think Clever Tilapia is Mary. No, it's not, it's Jacqueline. Is it not so? Is it Jacqueline? Yes. Is it Jacqueline? I think so.
It is, madam.
Then we have Vicky, who says difficulty in staying focused, distractions, Boaz relating real world to the research objectives. Relating the real world, I think Boaz has brought out something quite another perspective. Boaz, I like that, relating real world to the research objectives. I like Boaz's challenge.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes, please.
Madam, my problem is the same as Jacqueline. I see my name as optimistic something. I've just realized it now.
Yes.
I had sent in my responses, but
That is Nanyonjo Maria. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I've
Thank
sent
you. Boaz, I would like to go to your challenge. I'd like us to discuss Boaz's challenge a little bit because it's a very good one. Because we're talking about the realities of research. Now, switching our mindset, the way we think, into the research mode. And can anyone see Boaz? Everyone see Boaz's contribution?
Yes, we are seeing it.
Yeah, relating the real world to research objectives. Because a research objective is something we intend to do in the research. And it should be something doable in research. Something that we can attain. An objective is something that we should be able to attain, but in research, not in the practical world, in research. So take an example. As an IT student, I may have an IT objective, a professional objective, to build, let's say, a website for a certain organization, let's say called X. Yeah. Just a company called X. That is as an IT profession, an objective. Then you have a research objective. If you are building this website, what is your research objective? The professional objective is to build the website, but it's not a research objective. For example, professional programmer called, let's say, Tom, can build a website. He works for a certain IT company and he can build a website comfortably. And he'll be paid for it. Now, you are a research student. Okay? You are a research student. You may be building a website, but that is an IT objective. What is the research objective? Why do we do research? Can we go back to why we do research? Here we can have a verbal discussion. Why do we do research?
Madam,
Yes, please.
we can do research to advance knowledge and understanding.
Advanced knowledge and understanding. As everyone had Maria's response, advanced knowledge and understanding. So the million-dollar question is, what would be the research objective of that website? Yes, Mary Francis, you had a contribution?
Yes. It was we do research to solve problems in the real world.
Yeah, to solve problems in the real world, but these problems should be research problems. So the question now, if I was that profession building that website, but now I want to make it research, the question is, what problem in the real world needs to be solved? What research, what new knowledge do I need to advance as a profession? As now I'm the IT student, yes, but now I've built a website in terms of research. How can what would be my research objective? What is the real world problem I need to solve? Now, this is where we go to, we do the academic part. We go to published articles, published scholarly articles. and find out what real-world problem is yet unknown about websites in organizations. What do I need to discover about websites? What is yet unknown in the research community about organizational websites? What is yet unknown? Is it their impact on brand building? Is it their support in business, in organizational business processes? Is it improvement in efficiency in marketing? What is yet unknown? And this is where, if I was Sheba, I would go to published articles and find out what has not been known about, what has not been, what is yet unanswered or not fully answered or not yet understood. And then I make that my objective. Not the building of website is an IT skill, but now the question is what would that I would have achieved that objective. But now as a researcher, my question would be, after building the website, what do I need to discover about it? My objective could be on its impact on brand building for organization X. Maybe I integrated a certain business process, I integrated a business process, and I want to find out on how it has improved efficiency in that business process. If it has had an impact. Am I making sense? Colleagues, am I making sense?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. So we should know the difference between a research objective and then a professional objective. Yeah, we should be clear on that, because this is going to be really significant as you start doing your research, as you start the building blocks of your research.
Excuse
Okay.
me, madam.
Pardon?
May you elaborate more about the professional objective? Because
Okay.
the research.
The research objective and the professional. Jacqueline, thank you for that question. Now, if I was, let me first stop sharing this and open up a whiteboard if possible. Okay, can we all see the whiteboard? Can we all see the whiteboard?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Now we are looking at, we are IT professionals. That's one. Or we are IT professionals in the making. Okay? So we are IT professionals. Sorry, this does not allow you to write like an adult. So as an IT profession, there are skills you pick up. One, programming skills. So you are able to build IT systems, IT applications, and so on and so forth. You pick up networking skills. Networks, let's put it as networks. Okay, you build up computer maintenance. Let me put the CM for computer maintenance, and so on and so forth. Not so everyone, eh? You pick up all these skills as an IT, ICT profession. So under these professions, under these programs or course units, you will build IT systems, you will build a network system, you will carry out some networking skills, and so on and so forth. These are IT professional skills. Now, we have come to a new thing. Let me rub this off. We are now doing research skills. You're becoming a researcher, an academic. You're now becoming an academic, and now we are talking about research. And we want to do research as IT, ICT professionals, research. Okay? So you must come up with a research objective. As an IT profession, you're now becoming as a researcher as an IT profession. Now, previously, you could, as an IT profession, you can build a website, or you can build an application. And once you've built it, that's it. If it's for classwork, you'll be given your marks. And you get your 70%, 85, 90, whatever it is. If you are in the field working, you'll be paid your money. But now as a researcher, it's different. It's not about your work being so beautiful and it is so great. Yeah? How did we get this here? Now you must build, and you must have a research objective. So now I'm going to call it RO, standing for research objective. So as a research objective, let's say now I'm an IT student who wants to turn my IT profession and draw some research skills there. So I build a website, sorry. This has gone erratic. I build a website. So as I build a website, I want to turn this process, this act of building a website into a research objective. Whereas as an IT profession, I expect to get marks or to be told my application is so good, it's wonderful, it's fantabulous, and so on and so forth. Or I want to be paid. I want to be paid for that. In research, we now want to turn this into a research objective. This IT skill of building a website, I want to turn it into a research objective. In other words, to bring new knowledge. What is it about websites and organizations that we need to know more about? That we need to know why they are significant, or why they work, or why do they not work? So what do I start by doing? And this I now direct to Boaz and all of you. What do I start doing? I go to scholarly articles. Sorry, this is badly written. Let me see if I use my finger. I go to scholarly articles, published articles, research articles, which talk about, which have done research on websites and organizations, the relationship between websites and organizations. And I may find a lot of articles, maybe some would be talking about the impact of these websites on branding, on organizational branding. Others would maybe talk about the impact of websites with e-commerce websites and improvement of business processes, whatever it is. And then Boaz might say, for Boaz's case, he might say, let me build this website with let's say with the intention of inputting a business process, an e-commerce business process. Okay? Maybe a section where on the website, potential clients of this organization X will input their data about a particular service or product they want to purchase. And then Boaz's research objective is not building the website, but finding out how that particular section, which is helping to purchase, which is helping the process of a customer purchasing a product or service, how it has improved business processes. So that becomes Boaz's research objective. Okay? How? This website improves business process. That becomes his research objective. So in other words, Jacqueline, Boaz is not, when Boaz presents his work, the focus is not on his skills of developing a website. That's not the focus. When the examiner is reading through his book, they will not be focused on Boaz's ability to build a website, but on Boaz's ability to go and find out if there is an improvement in business processes, if there's an actual improvement, or if his research objective is if the website improves on branding. The focus for Boaz on when they're reading through his book is if that website does actually bring about improvement in branding. His ability to go and research objectively, to go and question, does it truly bring about? And Boaz can have a positive response or a negative result. A negative result or positive. Either way, he has done his work. Boaz might go and find out in organization X after implementing the website, it actually didn't improve on branding, or it didn't improve on this business process. And still the examiner will give him his full marks. He has done a good job because he brought about new knowledge. Websites actually maybe don't improve branding. Websites actually don't improve business processes. That was his research objective. Jacqueline, have I answered your question? Jacqueline, have I answered your question? Hello, Jacqueline. Is Jacqueline there? I think Jacqueline may have fallen off, or maybe, I don't know if, can all of you hear me?
Yes,
Okay. I don't know if this makes sense. Does it make sense to you? Okay. Ronald says yes. I hope so. Let me clear this page and I first stop sharing. Okay. We have had a good discussion so far. Let us go to a little bit further. Now, I'd also asked you to find out about types of research. What types of research have you discovered? Don't worry, for our education and course students, we're going to go through a lecture on this as well. But this also doesn't stop you. Even as we are doing now, as we are talking, you can go online and find out what types of research are there. And what do you think about them? Just your opinion from what you read. What do you think that they are referring to? That was one of the questions I asked you. What types of research are there? Hello, are you there?
Yes, madam.
Yes,
I'm
please.
sorry, madam.
Qualitative research.
Yes, qualitative research. Thank you. Jacqueline?
I'm sorry, madam. My device had just got a problem. Maybe it was just network issues, but now I'm back in class.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, Charles. Yes, Charles, we are listening.
Applied research.
Applied research, thank you. Yes, Maria?
Basic research.
Basic research. Thank you, Maria. Peter says descriptive research. Thank you, Peter, for that contribution. So we are going to look at some of these research types in a little bit in detail. Let me share my screen of the lecture slides. I hope you can all see the screen.
Yes, we are seeing it, madam.
Okay. Let me just put this in slide mode. Okay, types of research. I think we've had some of you say, this is just a summary, basic versus applied. And this is the most generic that there is. Sorry, the computer is a bit slow, but let's hope it will behave. These are the most, so these are the two most generic, basic and applied research. Most of us will be doing applied research. But underneath these, you can have descriptive or analytical, quantitative or qualitative, conceptual or empirical. So let's first understand what basic research is. So here, research is driven purely by a scientist's curiosity or interest in a scientific question. Now, I want to ask, most of you have done ethics, not so?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if you have also encountered in your research, if you have also done, if you've looked at philosophers. Have you looked at philosophers in research or philosophy? Have any of you looked at philosophers or philosophy in general? Jacqueline says yes. So when you
Yes.
look at philosophy and the origins of philosophy, take an example. There are philosophers like Socrates who asked the question, how do I know that I exist? You ask yourself that question. How do you know you exist? Maybe you're just an imagination. Maybe you actually don't exist. That is a question. And that is a question of curiosity. Okay? A question of curiosity. Another kind of, there's some knowledge which did come out of curiosity. You've all heard about Darwin's evolution theory. Have we heard about Darwin's evolution theory?
No, no.
Someone says no. Has anyone heard about Darwin's theory evolution, the theory of evolution? You ever heard this theory that we are supposed to have come from monkeys, human beings?
Me, I never heard of it.
You've ever heard of it? Eh? So the person who came up with this theory was called Darwin. Darwin started by observing. His curiosity started with the observing nature. And how things in nature evolve. So take an example. As a human species, we evolve. What do I mean? The way we look as Ugandans, the people who, if it could be recorded, the appearance of people who now live in what we call Uganda, the physical appearance, the cultural norms and practices, the languages we use, and so on and so forth, they have evolved over time. They have evolved so that we can exist in the current situation. We evolve physically. I don't think we are the same physically. If we look at 100 years back, if someone was to collect data, yeah, on us right now, what we physically look like, the heights we achieve, the height our bodies achieve, the average height, the resistance to certain diseases, the shade of our skin color, so on and so forth. And then what record 100 years later, you'd see there's an evolution. So Darwin started with curiosity, observing nature, and then came up with the theory of evolution. But just also for the sake of disclosure, there's never been a proof that one species can. There's actually never been proof that one species can evolve from one species into another. That has never actually been proven. It's possible for evolution to happen within a species. For example, dogs, what they look like today is not what they were 100 years ago, or cats or human beings and so on and so forth. But to say a dog will now become a human being, that's questionable because it's never actually been seen. But it's a thought that Darwin had. But it started with curiosity, interest in a scientific question. Yeah? Interest in a scientific question. So that is basic research. Philosophical questions also start as basic research out of curiosity. Yeah? Out of curiosity. Initially, when they begin, they may not have much use for applied use. Take an example when Darwin started that question. What was the applied significance? None. Or when Socrates asked that question, how do I know that I exist? Well, how does that solve my everyday problem? If at that time society had a problem of food shortage, at the time of Socrates, if they had a food shortage, how was that question relevant? Someone would ask that question. That is typically basic research. It starts out of curiosity. Yeah? And usually these basic research, the start is to develop theories, methods, systems, and so on and so forth. Okay? But they may not have a practical significance at that time. Then you have the opposite, applied research. So this one is there to solve practical problems. So take an example. The example I gave you, that maybe in Socrates' period of time, there was food shortage going on. Communities were going through food shortage. And then one researcher said, let me carry out research to find, to come up with high yielding crops. Okay? Let me carry out research to find out, to discover high yielding varieties of crops. Okay? High yielding varieties of crops. I'm trying to see if there's a question in the chat room. No, I can't see. So if at Socrates' time there was a person who said, okay, there was a practical problem of food shortage, and somebody said, let me find out if there is if we can come up with high yielding seeds, okay, high yielding producing crops, a variety of maize brand that can produce more and therefore increase food security. Or someone says, let me look for varieties of crops that are resistant to drought so that we are ensured of food security. That is practical or applied research that is trying to solve practical problems that are currently going on. Or if I come to IT and the practical problem is that they're telling organizations, companies, build websites to improve your brands, but there is no evidence that a website actually does improve the branding. And branding is important. Why? Because you're putting in money. Yeah? You've put in money in, you've paid someone to build for you a very beautiful website. Does it actually bring you returns? That is a practical problem for a business. So a researcher can say, I want to discover if there's actual evidence that a website does improve branding. That is a practical problem. Do we have any questions so far? Do we have any questions so far?
No.
Okay, but have we understood the difference between the two?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So we have also descriptive research and analytical research. Yeah, we have descriptive research and analytical research. So descriptive research is trying to find facts and inquiries about different things. So take an example, a person who says, I want to research if websites actually do improve branding or do improve certain e-commerce processes. That is a descriptive research because you're going to find out the facts. Yeah, you're going to find out facts about this. Okay? So you want to find the state of affairs about a certain phenomena. Take note of certain words we use, phenomena. Yeah? Let me first read this. Phenomena. Find out what does that mean. Because we're going to use these words, you'll see them. You see them in research. What do we mean? We want to find out the state of affairs of about a particular phenomena. Then we have analytical, the opposite of descriptive. You want to make a critical evaluation of a material. It's not just descriptive, but to be very, very precise about whether something really is true or not true. Now for this, I'm actually going to, I don't know if they're there, but I'm going to post them up on Moodle, and you read throughout the week, 2 articles, and you tell me which is descriptive, which is analytical. Okay? And they're IT published articles. Research can be quantitative or qualitative. Now look at the word quantitative. It comes from quantity. Yeah, the word quantitative is referring to quantity. So we are dealing with numbers and something of numerical form, something that occurs more than the other, more than any other variable. So when we are looking at quantitative research, we're looking at something which is measurable. So take an example, the research on the website. Boaz's question, Boaz's example. One student can decide to say, I'm going to implement several websites, or I'm going to look at several organizations with several websites which implemented these websites for the sake of branding. Maybe I look at if we have 100 registered organizations in Uganda, I'm going to take 50 of those or 60 of them which have 100 registered websites, 100 registered companies, each of them with a website. And then I'd say, I'm going to take 60 of them and ask them questions to find out if this website improved their branding. And I have a set of questions that specifically point to determine on whether that website actually improved their branding. And then I find out which one occurs more, which one points more towards branding or which one points less to. And then depending on the result, if it's more yeses than nos, then I conclude that yes, websites do really improve on branding. If I have less nos, then I say less nos than yes, then I can say I can conclude that websites actually do improve. That is based on quantitative, on numbers. Yeah. Then we have qualitative. Qualitative comes from quality. You want to understand the meaning behind something. It is not on how many, where on quantitative, I was referring to the number. Now in qualitative, I'm referring to the quality. I'm not bothered about how many companies. I'm just focused on 1 or 2 companies. And I go through, I also study whether that website really did improve on branding. I ask their customers, how did you know about this organization? How did you feel about their services based on the, I do in-depth interviews. Yeah, in-depth interviews and observations. Whereas in quantitative, I may just have a questionnaire, getting opinions on yes or no's on how, or give a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about this, and so on and so forth. The more that are positive about this question, then it means this. The more that are negative, then it means that. That is quantitative. Qualitative, it is I observe, I get the underlying feeling about something. I really get to hear somebody's feelings. That is qualitative. So qualitative, it is how deep do you go, not how wide. While quantitative, it is how wide you go, not how deep. Have we understood that point?
Everything is clear, madam.
Okay. I hope it's clear for everyone. Eh? We next have conceptual research and empirical research. So conceptual is referred to as analytical research. Eh? So it's conceptual research is more related to basic research. It's when we are beginning to conceptualize something. Conceptualize. If you can look at the word to conceptualize a concept, what a concept means. It comes from the word concept. To conceptualize something, we're beginning to formulate an idea or theory. Yeah, that is what conceptual research does. Most of us are not going to do conceptual research, especially at undergraduate or even master's level, maybe at PhD level. Then we have empirical research. Most of us, our research goes here, empirical research. So here you may be testing a hypothesis. Yes, take an example of the website that we referred to. So it can be the empirical evidence can be gathered either in a quantitative manner or qualitative manner. Quantitative means we carry out research on many people, we give them questionnaires. Qualitative is we spend time with a few people but spend a lot of time with them. Okay? These are points for discussion for next week. And I'm also going to upload for you 2 articles. And we're going to have a detailed discussion on these types of research where these 2 articles may fall. Is that okay?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So do we have any questions so far? What we have discussed so far? Do we have any questions so far? Do we have any questions so far?
No, madam.
Okay, I hope not. Sometimes undergraduates, for you, when I ask, do you have questions, and you keep quiet, I get concerned because sometimes you find some people have not understood anything, but have simply you've kept in there. Even if something makes absolutely no sense, please tell me. Okay? Please let me know. Don't die in silence. Yes, Jacqueline?
That we have just got you. Thank you for your lecture.
Okay. I hope so, yeah? Okay. I think we can stop our lecture there. Take note of the 2 questions which I've posted. These slides are up on Moodle. But I'm also going to I'm going to send this recording to ICT, then also link it to Moodle so that you can go through it during the week. But I urge you, go through the slides, go through the 2 articles that I'm going to discuss, and then it's going to be the first point of discussion when we meet next Tuesday. Is that okay?
Yes, madam.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Let me stop recording here. Sorry.